In this video, I'll be talking about activity variable in Microsoft Copilot Studio while authoring an agent. Now, activity variable basically provides context about the current conversation and interaction. It offers details about the type of activity you are in and the content of the message. Now, some of the examples I have listed over here. So, this is activity type. It gives you whether it's a message, whether it's an event, or it's an invoke. Activity.from.name basically gives you the name of user sending the message, and activity value is the additional data associated with activity. Now, apart from that, there are other things which activity variable provide, but this is at a very high level that if you receive any activity, it can be classified into a message, event, or invoke. Now, I will cover all this thing in a separate video, but this time I'll just focus on the message part. Now, there are other objects which you can see over here. You can extract. So there's activity attachments. So if the file attachments provided by the user, if someone uploads a file, that will be stored in the form of a table format and then it will be shown to you. Activity.channel, the channel ID of the current conversation. Activity channel data, it's an object that contains channel specific content. Activity from ID, so channel specific unique ID. Activity channel ID of the current conversation as a string. So channel is mostly for like if you're publishing your agent in say Microsoft Teams, then you will be able to get those information. Activity from name, the channel specific user friendly name. Activity name, name of the event. Recipient ID, recipient name is again it's self-explanatory. It gives you the identifier type and also the display name of the agent. Activity text, the most recent message sent by the user. And here I have explained you what is activity type. It's a choice. It's basically a type of activity. So activity value, it's like it will give you more details about the activity. Now, when you create a bot or an agent, you create a topic, and within a topic, I've just opened a message and then gone to effects. And when I write this, I just type in system.activity, and then I'll be able to get the various options that are available as a part of system.activity object. Now, this is an example. What I've done, I have tested my agent. Now, if you see over here, this agent is tested in the test interface of Microsoft Copilot Studio. And I have attached one attachment. Now, here you will see that there are some things which is worth noting. Activity.attachment will give you a table. So, this is the table kind of a data. It's an array, basically multi-item array, but I've just uploaded one item and that's what is giving me this particular response. Activity channel, now it is not given me anything in the channel because this is just like on a test agent. Now, activity channel ID, I got PVA Studio. So this is it is explaining me that this is coming from the test interface of Copilot Studio test agent interface, and also the recipient ID and recipient name and those kind of things. Now this is a type of message and that's why I can see messages over here. Now, I can publish this bot in Microsoft 365 Copilot, and then I can get some different details over here. Now, if you see over here, the most of the thing worth noting is activity channel ID. It is now M365 Copilot. So it is not PVA Studio, but it is M365 Copilot. So it will give you that identifier identifying that this bot is published in say M365 Copilot chat and not your testing in the Copilot Studio agent interface. Same bot published in Teams, but now here I get some more information. So if you see activity channel ID, it is MS Teams, and also activity channel is MS Teams. So I will explain you by showing you the live example, and then here the team agent response. So if I type in something in the prompt, I get this response. Mm, Also, if you attach a document, then you will get this options like system.activity.attachment. So in a table, you will get the content of the table. Now I've covered this in a separate video, in a separate detailed video, but here just to give an explanation, if you upload a file, so I've uploaded a file named as cps.png. Now it has given me the name, design-cps.png is the name of the file. The content type is image png, so that's the type of that file. And also, if you want to see some more detail about the file, this is all captured in the array format. So you can see it's an array, start of array, end of array, because you can upload multiple file and then it will give you comma separated array values. Content will give you the actual file content. So if you upload a jpeg file and if you type in the content, then you will get that same file back in the interface. So let's jump into one of the demos. So let me go ahead and create one agent. So I'll go ahead and create a new agent and I'll call this agent as activity test agent. So I'll just go ahead and create an agent. So this agent is now getting created. I can go ahead and edit the name. I can go ahead and change the description instruction, but I'm not going to do some major changes on this agent. I'm just going to change the name. And also once it is loaded, I will go ahead and create a topic. So let me go ahead and create a topic. So if I click over here, add a topic, I can go and say click on from blank. And then from here, I can start putting those information. Now, if you see over here, this is a trigger. So I'll say trigger when user types in. This is just for demo purpose. So I'll just put in ABCD. So if user types in ABCD, just trigger this particular topic. Now here I will say send a message. Now here I will start exploring the different activity objects, right? So the goal is to explore various activity objects. So here if I click on insert variable, go to system, and here you can see I have activity dot attachments, activity dot channel, activity dot channel data, and activity dot channel id, and so on and so forth. So if you see over here, I'm not going to explore everything over here in this particular agent. So I'll just show you a couple of things. So this is activity dot attachment. So if you attach something, this is where you can see this information. Okay. Now, before you do something, what I will do, I'll add an additional node and I'll ask a question so that I will request for a file input. Now here I will request for a file input. I'll select identify over here, and in the entity I will select file. So file attached by the user. I will send a message. I'll say please upload file, and this will be stored in a where object, and then I can explore that where object. But just to give an example, like I have used attachments over here, I will pick up some couple of other items. So go to system and I get activity dot channel id. So that's the another thing which I can explore. Then if I go to system, I can get from id, activity name, uh, activity text, recipient name. So let me put activity text. So let's explore all these things. So let me say channel id and text. And there are other things which you can explore, but I will show that in already prepared demo. So I will name this topic as activity explore. Click on save. And what I need to do is I need to just type in ABCD as a prompt, and then it will ask me to upload a file. Let's say please upload a file. So I'll click on this attachment icon, and then maybe I will just pick up one signature. And now what has happened, it has given me this output. So attachment, so it has given me the table. It has given me in say here say channel id, pva studio, and a text, right? Now if you go ahead and see the topics, so activity objects, we have got the attachment, then channel id, we got PVA dash studio, and activity text, we didn't get anything over here. Now, if you see the attachment as see over here, let me copy this and show it to you in VS Code. So let me open VS Code, yeah, and paste it over here, and then maybe format the document. Now, if you see this, what content it has is, first is it has a content as one of the object, and then we have content type, name, and value. So you can explore, you can extract name, the content type, and the content value. So value is actually the conversation file reference, and this is that GUID. So as you see over here, this is that GUID. Now remember, this is in an array format, right? Now if you have uploaded multiple file, it will give you that multiple value as an output, and so file number one will be this, then there will be file number two, and then file number three. So this is how you can explore those activity object. Now I have already created one agent which is named as Girish Teams agent, and I have written all the items over there. So I'll show you the topics. So if you see the topic, let's go into the sports topic. Now here in the sports topic, if you see, there is a trigger which says this, the topic triggers when the user asks about sports. You will upload a file, and then it will give you the message. Right now in the message, the whole bunch of things I've written: activity.attachments, which will give you a table output; activity.channel will give you the choice, channel data, any channel ID, from name, name, recipient ID, recipient name, activity text, activity type, activity ID, and activity value. So let's explore this. So if I just type in sports, then it will say please upload the file. I will upload, say, let's assume this file, send, and then you will see that these are the output of this. So first is, it has also displayed the file because we have displayed the content. Now if you see activity.attachment, so let me go into the topics and show it to you. Yeah, so if I go into the topics, go to sports, and here we'll see activity.attachments, right, the first one. So it has activity.attachment, channel, channel data. Now if you see over here, it says activity.attachment, channel. Now if you see the channel ID, it is PVA hyphen studio, because we are running this particular agent in the test interface of Copilot Studio, and that's why you will see PVA studio. And then you will see the recipient ID, recipient name. Now the name is, recipient name is G Corp underscore Girish Teams agent, because this is like this particular agent which we have created, the internal name of the agent. It is of type message, type ID is message. Now I have deployed the same agent in Microsoft 365 Copilot. So if you see Microsoft 365 Copilot, I have deployed this agent. So let's go to Girish Teams agent and type in sports. And now it will again do the same thing. It will ask for a file, and you just go ahead and upload the file. So let me upload that particular same file, or maybe I will put a different file now. So earlier we uploaded PNG file, now let's upload an Excel file. So XLSX, and now it has given you the same thing over here. Now let us explore this component, what it has provided. So let me just unzoom a bit and see, and let me do a split screen and show the difference. So let me see if I can see the test interface. Yeah, I think that thing is gone, but that's fine. But just wanted to show you that, um, activity channel ID is not PV Studio, it is M365 Copilot. And also the Excel file, if you see, I got the name of the Excel file, I got the content type. Now the content type is application slash vnd dot open xml formats dash office documents dot spreadsheet html dot sheet, instead of image dot image slash png for the file which you have uploaded. Now this is an Excel file. Also, the recipient name is Girish Teams agent, so that's the agent which is it is referring to. Then the file name is basically the activity text, and also the activity type is message and type ID is message. Now, same thing, I have deployed the same agent in Microsoft Teams. So if you see over here in Microsoft Teams, I have did the same thing. Now, in I have deployed in the web application as well as in the desktop application. So if you see in the desktop application, if you don't see your Teams, you can just go ahead and uh, click on the agent if you have deployed it correctly, and I will just type in sports, and it will again ask for you to upload a file. I'll just go ahead and click here, attach a file, and maybe I'll pick up manager.xlsx, submit this, and then it will process the information, and then it will give you that same set of response back. Sometimes it will hallucinate. Now it is again and again asking me for the same thing. So maybe I'll just give it a try of uploading a different file. And I can also like remove this particular agent just by clicking on remove chat history. Click on remove, and then this agent will disappear. You can just go it back, go to Girish Teams agent again, and then you can just type in sports. And this is how you can basically explore this particular agent. Now, if I just show you the web interface of the Teams. Now in the web interface, I have already did the same process, and here the difference is this part. Activity channel ID is MS Teams instead of PVA Studio or M365 Copilot chat. Then we have a recipient ID and the recipient name. The recipient name is Girish Teams agent because this is that Teams agent name, which you can see over here. And also it is of type message and IDs of type message. And then you can get other information like the tenant ID, the file name which has been uploaded, and also the content type application VND, office document, processing document. So that's it folks. This is how you basically can explore activity object. Now activity object can be used to extract the content of the file, which you can see from here, activity attachments. And then from here we can extract various other components within the file, just as content type, the name, and the content of the file itself. However, if you want to check out on some messages details, so you can get the channel ID, channel data, recipient ID, recipient name, etc. Thanks for watching.